You remember it perfectly. The way she looked at you, the exact words he used, the order things happened in, except you don't. Your brain didn't record that memory like a camera. It rebuilt it piece by piece the moment you thought of it again. And every time you remember something, you're not replaying the past. You're rewriting it. That sounds impossible, but the real answer is far stranger than you think. Memory feels solid, permanent, like a file saved on a hard drive, waiting to be opened exactly as it was stored. That feeling is convincing. It's also completely false. Psychologist Elizabeth Loftus spent decades proving this. In her famous studies, she showed that people could be led to remember entire events that never happened. A lost trip to the mall as a child, a run-in with a cartoon character at a theme park that couldn't have occurred. Given the right suggestion, the brain filled in the gaps and handed back a memory complete with sounds, smells, and emotions. The person telling it had no idea it was fabricated. To them, it felt exactly like something real. Why would a brain built for survival do something so unreliable? Because accuracy was never the goal. Function was. Your brain isn't trying to preserve history, it's trying to keep a coherent, functional version of you moving forward. Every memory gets pulled up, subtly edited to match what you now believe, then filed back away as if nothing changed. Neuroscientist Karim Nader demonstrated this reconsolidation process directly. Each time a memory is recalled, it becomes temporarily unstable, open to being altered before it's locked back in. You're not accessing the original event. You're accessing the last version you told yourself. This is where it gets uncomfortable because this doesn't just apply to childhood memories or lab experiments. It applies to the argument you had last week, the reason you think you didn't get the job, the story you tell about why your relationship ended. Your brain quietly edits all of it, usually to protect one thing: your self-image. Social psychologist Anthony Greenwald called this the totalitarian ego, the mind's tendency to act like a biased historian, rewriting the record so that you always come out looking reasonable, competent, and justified. Failures get reframed as circumstances outside your control. Successes get filed as proof of who you really are. It isn't lying in the way we normally think of lying. There's no intention to deceive. The distortion happens quietly before conscious thought ever gets involved. Think about the last disagreement you had with someone close to you. Ask yourself honestly, do you remember what actually happened, or do you remember the version where you were right? Most people can't tell the difference. That's the point. This process isn't a flaw waiting to be fixed. It's a feature that once kept early humans functioning. A brain constantly weighed down by every accurate detail of every past failure and threat wouldn't move forward. It would freeze. So the mind learned to lighten the load, softening what hurts, sharpening what helps, and quietly discarding whatever doesn't serve the story it's building about you. The mirror shows up daily in smaller ways than you'd expect. The friend you remember canceling on you more than they actually did. The compliment you shrugged off, but the criticism you replayed for a week. The version of an old relationship that gets worse or better every year that passes. None of it is deliberate. All of it is your brain quietly protecting its narrator. Once you know this is happening, something shifts. You stop treating your memories as evidence and start treating them as drafts. You get curious instead of certain. You ask what you might be leaving out, not because you're broken, but because every human mind works exactly this way. So the next time you're utterly convinced you remember something exactly as it happened, pause, notice the certainty, then remember this. You don't remember it perfectly. You remember it the way your brain needed you to.